Welcome to the Writers Clinic. In this video, we give tips to those who have resolved to become creative writers. We explore the kind of habits, the kind of attitude that they should have in order to be successful creative writers. Welcome. Let me assume you are an aspiring writer with a burning desire to get published. Perhaps you, like many others, consider breaking up with the past and do something really creative. Today's desires and wishes, nevertheless, have to be transformed into reality through practical steps geared towards production of desired results. I for sure know of thousands of people who wish to write, but they never get down to writing. They dream of having that coveted byline, but never take steps to realize the dream. They are either too preoccupied with the nothings of this world or lack confidence and knowledge about the craft of writing. Each one of us has a story to tell. Even if we have not imagined of any, our own life stories are interesting enough. What is missing in majority of would-be writers are not the stories, but the ability, discipline, and resolve to write. They entertain the thought without any commitment and clearly stated achievable goals. This kind of empty existence, I think, is what made Michel Montaigne, the great French essayist, to observe that no wind favors him who has no destined port. Montaigne meant that a person without clearly defined goals in life is doomed to sail in circles, never getting anywhere because he is going nowhere. I have had the opportunity to listen to many would-be writers, especially in writing workshops, and I have been filled with pity for their ignorance. Some accuse what they call insensitive editors and monsters for rejecting their manuscripts. Supposedly, you expect critics to sing lullabies for you and editors to accept anything you produce, even if it amounts to worthless droppings. Then for sure you are lost. It is therefore prudent to realize that if you have made a resolution to become a writer, then you have to, among other things, anticipate rejections, for they are part of this trade. Even more important, you have to accept to revise your work many, many times. Majority of would-be writers perish their dreams once they are asked to revise their work extensively. By so doing, they demonstrate lack of the key qualities that make up writers, that is, resilience, patience, and humility. It is also significant for aspiring writers to seek knowledge about the publishing trade, especially in the developing world. Writers today are living in a very exciting moment, abound with publishing opportunities. Knowledge of these open opportunities in publishing in today's rapidly changing world is essential for any writer. Even more imperative is to know who is interested in your kind of writing. Foy Goldie, one of the greatest writers who lived on her writings throughout her life, has given us some of the best tips that may guide you into a writing career. In the book entitled Thoughts on Writing, she argues that at best, one has to aspire to be a professional writer. To be a professional demands a great deal of self-discipline, dedication, courage, and tenacity. The difference between an amateur and a professional, she writes, is that the amateur writes when the spirit moves him or her. They enjoy calling themselves writers and usually spend more time dreaming and talking about writing than actually doing it. Whereas professional writers, whether successful or not, don't talk about it very much. Think about it instead of dreaming. And most important of all, they make themselves write day after day after day, whether they feel like writing or not. Goldie advises that writing is essentially a solitary occupation. It is lonely, it is demanding, and is pretty antisocial. What this means is that resolving to write may not make you very popular with friends and family members. If you are the type given to hanging out with crowds, then you are getting into a profession that will demand a change in your lifestyle. It will demand a lot of sacrifice and hard work to succeed in becoming a published writer. To make it, you have to be obsessed about writing. Echoing similar sentiments, Marjorie Holmes, one of the most successful writers, has noted that if one is talented, believes in his or her ability, is patient, persistent, and self-disciplined, and goes ahead to write every day, keeps a notebook, studies writers' magazines, and sends out manuscripts, then realizing the dream of being published is for sure guaranteed. To Holmes, patience and persistence translates into refusal to give up, but to keep trying. Self-discipline means that the writer has to make a schedule and stick to it. It also means developing the courage to say no to temptations to do other things other than writing and create excuses. But it is Valerie Cuthbert who spells out a critical principle that could spell failure or success and help you get to your feet. Writing, she notes, is a craft, and like any other craft, it has to be learned. Very few of us are born writers, and there is a saying which applies equally to most writers, whether they are well-established writers or hopeful novices. This saying is, genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. If you have resolved to write, then burn all bridges behind you and stake your entire future on your ability to get what you desire. I want to wish you the best in your writing career. And if you want to learn more, tune in to Igara Kabaji TV, and you may like, comment, or subscribe to this channel. Welcome again and again.